Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Sabahat and welcome to my live session. So it's Monday and it's just the start of the week. So before starting, let me just go on different platforms and check who's live with me. And in the meantime, those of you who are watching, you can always let me know where you're logging from. Are you from Pakistan, are you from abroad, or are you from any other province or district of Pakistan? So I'll just go and be back in a GP. Yes, so I'm right on the spot. It's 8 p.m. and so it's time to start. Okay, so today's topic, it's very clear. What do you think about this topic? Like, we have heard this phrase so many times, and you know what, we just need to analyze it, because at times we just take it we just take it as a quote. We don't try to analyze or think below the meanings. So whenever I try to bring out something, or I try to discuss something, I try to look beyond the meanings. So this is one of those topics, and it says never judge a book by its cover. So this is why what I intend to discuss today, and definitely I would love to hear all what you want to say, and whatever comments or whatever analysis you have done on your own regarding this topic, or what do you think about this topic. Simply, I asked Mahmood, thank you so much for watching. So now I have a fan which is working right at the top of my head. So मेरे दिमाग में जितने पॉइंट्स हैं उससे मेरा दिमाग गर्म ना हो जाए, सो उसको कूल करने के लिए there's this fan on my head. Okay, just starting with my topic, what I want to discuss in the beginning is that appearances, they can be very deceptive. So if you are judging a book by its cover, like अक्सर जो है क्या होता है, अक्सर ये होता है कि आप किसी इंसान को देखते हैं और आप उसको जज करना शुरू कर देते हैं. नाउ इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि भाई जो उसकी अपीयरेंस है, लाइक फर्स्टली तो जो है आप इस तरीके से जज करते हैं कि भाई उसकी अपीयरेंस क्या है. अपीयरेंस में जो है most of us, we focus on the facial features, and then secondly we focus on the way the person dresses, whether it's good, whether it's bad. So जो भी उनकी dressing होती है उसके मुताबिक we start judging those people. Now the thing is that the number one thing in this statement, it's that appearances are often deceptive. Like if जो quote है हमारा कि never judge a book by its cover, like if you are looking at a book and its cover, like it's hard binding, and you find the illustration, it's really good, and you say okay, it's of good quality, ये hard binding में है, इसकी illustration भी बहुत अच्छी है, इसका topic भी बहुत अच्छा है. So you're focusing on the apparent appearance of that book rather than looking beyond the meanings. क्योंकि when we judge some person, चाहे वो जो है casually dress हो या चाहे वो fine dress हो, we don't know how that person is. आप जो है किसी को देख कर नहीं बता सकते कि उसके अंदर क्या है. So you know what, when I was a child, I used to look at people, and I used to draw different vibes. उन सब में से ना मुझे एक डिफरेंट किस्म की वाइब्स आती थी. अब हर एक एनालिसिस का जो है तरीक़ाकार डिफरेंट होता है, एंड देन वो जो वाइब्स होती थी, दे वुड गेट इनटू मी, एंड आई वुड एब्जॉर्ब दोज वाइब्स. और उस टाइम पे जो है, सिंस आई वाज अ चाइल्ड, आई डिड नॉट नो व्हाट does these vibes mean. अभी भी जो है, there are many times I get so many mixed vibes, but now I'm able to analyze those vibes. Okay, what are those vibes? कुछ vibes जो है अच्छी होती हैं, कुछ vibes है negative होती हैं, कुछ toxic होती हैं, कुछ मिली जुली होती हैं. So I just try to be partial, not partial, I just try to be impartial rather than thinking anything. So unless and until I'm sure, or unless and until the person tells कि भाई what is in their mind, so only then I just think about it. Otherwise I don't I'm not judgmental. I don't judge किसकी क्या vibes है क्या है, क्योंकि everyone has they have a different environment. So as a person, as an individual, we all need to be impartial. We are not supposed to judge anyone, चाहे वो casually dress है, चाहे वो finely dress है, चाहे वो अबाया में है, चाहे वो शलवार कमीज़ में है, या चाहे वो जो है ड्रेस पैंट में है, या ट्राउजर्स में है, शर्ट्स में या जीन्स में है. So there are so many dresses and dress codes. So firstly, never judge a person by their appearance. अच्छा, फिर इसमें एक और चीज़ आ जाती है कि इनिशियल इम्प्रेशंस दे आर नॉट द फाइनल इम्प्रेशंस. लाइक व्हेन यू आर सीइंग समवन एज अ पर्सन, अगर हम बात करें तो फर्स्ट टाइम में यू कैन नॉट जज अ पर्सन. यू कैन नॉट से ओके, लाइक दोज ऑफ यू जो कि फर्स्ट टाइम मेरे सेशंस में आते हैं और हु कम इनटू माय लाइव स्ट्रीम्स, यू माइट बी जस्ट अटेंडिंग इट फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम. दो यू माइट फाइंड द कंटेंट वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, बट देन आपके जहन में बहुत सी ऐसी चीज़ें आएंगी मेरे मुतालिक, एंड यू स्टार्ट मे बी you will start judging me. Yeah, okay, maybe I'm a person like this, I'm something like that. But then again, मैं अपने पे इसलिए ये बात कर रही हूँ क्योंकि this is what we do with other people, कि when we come across those people, we start judging them. अब first impression is not the last impression. It might be important, it might be an important impression कि आप जो है first time जो है किसी से मिलते हैं, बात करते हैं, but it's not the last impression. अब ये चीज़ जो है आप देखें कि व्हेन यू आर इन दैट डिसीजन मेकिंग रोल, सो फर्स्ट टाइम में आप जो है किसी से बात करते हैं एज अ डिसीजन मेकर, अगर बात करते हैं, या से इफ़ यू आर इन द रिक्रूटिंग प्रोसेस, सो व्हेन यू आर रिक्रूटिंग दैट पर्सन, आपके सामने जो है उस बंदे का पोर्टफोलियो होता है या बंदी का पोर्टफोलियो होता है. फिर आप उससे जो भी डिस्कशन करते हैं, जो भी इंटरव्यू में क्वेश्चंस करते हैं, उसके बेस पे यू फॉर्म समथिंग. बट देन यू आर टॉकिंग टू दैट पर्सन, एंड इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि वो जस्ट एक इंटरव्यू में यू आर एबल टू डिसाइड ओके we are going to hire this person. There might be a series of interviews, there might be 2-3 stages till you get to the final decision. So it all depends कि कितनी बड़ी organization है या हर organization का क्या processes है recruitment के. So you go according to that. So when we talk about we are not supposed to judge a book by its cover, or we are not supposed to judge people by their appearances, so you need time to analyze them, and when you are able to analyze them completely, only then you can make your final decisions, or you can come to some kind of conclusion. Otherwise it is really it's a very poor decision कि अगर आप first time में जो है किसी को judge करने बैठ जाएं. Okay, let's see. Asif Ali, thank you so much for your compliment, and Riyaz Salim, thank you so much for joining and giving this compliment as well. You know what, जो लोग ये समझते हैं ना, यानी अक्सर जो है when I was in my professional life, I always heard this saying, first impression is the last impression, so first impression has to be powerful. So अगर first time में जो है आप impress नहीं कर पाए तो आप पूरी ज़िंदगी नहीं impress कर पाएंगे, या then you'll have to suffer. So this is not the case. In reality, this does not happen. In reality, though first impression might be powerful, but it's not the last impression. You keep on changing. Like when you're born, no one knows कि भी 7 दिन बाद आपकी शक्ल change हो जाएगी, और you might look more like your father, or you might look more like your mother, or you might look like no one, not like your mother or father. You might have your own features. So no one knows that. But then these are some of the myths जो कि बन जाती हैं कि जी फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन लास्ट इम्प्रेशन है, तो जो कुछ अबूर करना है आपने, कॉन्कर करना है आपने, वो फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन में करना है. नो, you keep on learning, you keep on improving, and then you keep on forming impressions. Like when you start something, no one knows how, even you don't know how that thing is going to turn out. Eventually जब आप आप कर रहे होती हैं, you keep on learning side by side, you keep on talking with the relevant people or the like-minded people, and you keep on hearing different suggestions and advices from all kinds of people, and you improve upon yourself, and that's how you keep on forming your impression. So it's a transformative phase, and it's a transformative journey rather. So you keep on learning, और आपके जो impressions होते हैं वो भी keeps on changing with time. So the more value you can add to people's life, it's going to, you know, transform you and other people in a really good way, because you are adding value. आप जो भी services provide कर रही हैं, अगर उसमें value होगी, तो then people are going to form a good impression about you. So they might not be judging you just by your cover. They might be looking at what value you're adding. So this is another thing. अच्छा, अगर हम इसमें जो है मज़ीद बात करें, तो you know what, instead of just looking at the, you know, facial values or just at the appearances or the dressing, you need to you know, delve deeper. अब delve deep आप किस तरह करते हैं? When you start talking to the person, even as a recruiter, you are talking to the candidate, the relevant candidate. आप उनसे जो है mixed questions पूछ रही हैं, आप उनसे उनके personal experiences के बारे में पूछ रही हैं, job experiences के बारे में पूछ रही हैं, different जो है, you might ask them about different roles, different leading roles, जिसमें जो है they were able to make decisions or they were the sole decision maker, and how did they perform or what have they done so far, जिससे जो है लोगों की life जो है impact हुई है या उसमें change आया है, या what are the errors they made during their journey. So these are all set of questions जिससे जो है you can easily assess, क्योंकि you are delving deeper. You are not just looking at the apparent thing. Like मुझे जो है अक्सर जो है ना ये चीज़ समझ नहीं आती कि बहुत सी जो है ना जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस होती हैं वो जिस वक्त सीवीज आपका मांगती हैं, तो दे एक्सपेक्ट कि यू आर गोइंग टू, यू नो, पुट योर पिक्चर on the CV. Now the thing is you are going to appoint the person for their skills, not for their face. So ये जो है ना, this is something which I do not agree. And as a recruiter, I never ask for CVs with, you know, pictures. But then again, if you're applying abroad in different countries या different institutions में, तो हर एक की requirement होती है. So I don't know what is this thing behind that, you know, picture, cause what are they looking at? Obviously अगर जो है उनकी एज रिक्वायरमेंट है, तो वो तो आपके सीवी में जब डेट ऑफ बर्थ जाएगी उसमें ऑटोमेटिकली पता चल जाएगा आपकी क्या एज है. बट देन बाय लुकिंग एट द फेस, आप फेस को तो देख के डिटर्मिन नहीं करोगे ना कि आपने जो है इनको अपॉइंट करना है या नहीं करनी. सो दिस इज़, यू नो, अ बिट कन्फ्यूजिंग फॉर मी एंड आई डोंट एग्री विद इट. एनीवेज, हर एक की अपनी जो है पॉलिसीज़ होती हैं, अपनी रिक्रूटमेंट होती है. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू से कि भाई किसका सही है किसका गलत है, बट आई डोंट एग्री विद इट. Okay, I have Musaddak Murtaza. Thank you so much for joining and watching. Irfan Ali Handal, it's Hundal. Thank you so much for joining and watching this session. So this is, you know, this is again another thing. Instead of, you know, judging people by their appearances, you need to delve deeper. You need to talk with them. You need to analyze them in order to understand कि actual में बंदा या बंदी है क्या, या इनके अंदर क्या है. What is the metal they have, what is the matter they have which you can utilize in your projects or your assignments or your organization, whatever that is. Then इसमें एक जो चीज़ जो है, like what you encourage by doing all this, it's that you have an open mind. और वो जो open mind होता है ना, that is the mind of a change mindset. You have a change mindset. That's why you are open, and that's why you encourage that mindset. You are, you know, inviting and accepting people from diverse backgrounds. अब चाहे वो पाकिस्तान में रहते हैं, चाहे वो abroad रहते हैं, चाहे वो किसी और culture ethnicity के हैं, you are open to welcoming them because you are focusing on their skills. You are not looking at their appearances. So this is what, you know, not judging a book by its cover teaches us. We are open to inclusivity and diversity. We are ready to, you know, accommodate people in their professional capacity, whatever their skills are. You're not going on their ethnic diversity या on their जो है practicing जो भी वो practice करते हैं. So you don't go on that. You go on their you know, skills जिसकी आपको requirement होती है. Then yes, it does promote inclusivity. जब आप ये सब चीज़ें कर रहे होते हैं, then you are able to, you know, when you are meeting new people, you don't know वो कैसे होंगे. Like if you have gone to some place, आप किसी जो है सेमिनार में जाते हैं या आप किसी कॉन्फ्रेंस को अटेंड करते हैं, यू माइट ऑब्जर्व समवन हु इज सिटिंग वेरी रिजर्व, वेरी साइलेंट, वेरी क्वाइट. सो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू जज कि भी मे बी ये जो है बंदा बंदी इसको बात करनी नहीं आती या इसके पास कुछ बोलने को नहीं है. रादर if you have an open mind, you're just going to start talking with that person, and once you start talking with that person, you'll come to realize that this like we share so much with each another interest hai. It's just that कि अगर if someone isn't proactive in talking first, doesn't mean doesn't make them कि they don't know how to speak. It's just that कि maybe they're just observing, or maybe they're not proactive, or maybe it can be any reason. So there are people who observe first and then they speak, and when they speak, then the whole hall it's quiet because they have such an impressive way of speaking. This is another thing. You are not going to judge a book by its cover or judge a person if they're not speaking. And then इसमें और जो चीज़ आ जाती हैं, like if we go to other examples, जिस तरीके से like again this is being judgmental, like when you go out shopping, अगर आप जो है किसी एक चीज़ पे जाते हैं, like mostly जो है what I see is कि जो handmade चीज़ें होती हैं, they are very simply wrapped up, or they are simply presented. So उसमें क्या होता है, उसमें जो है फिर एक चीज़ माइंड में आ जाती है कि इट्स नॉट ब्यूटीफुली पैक्ड, या पैकिंग आ जाती है ना, लाइक अक्सर जो है लोग कहते हैं जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. इट्स नॉट दैट वे. like it all depends कि भाई आपकी क्या mindset है. like when I go to a shop, I'm not focused on कि भाई इसकी packing कैसी है या ये किस तरह wrap हुआ हुआ है. though I do a lot of marketing and I know these are all tactics of marketing, but the reality is when you go out and you want to shop something for yourself, you're going to be very you'll have your own mindset, और आपकी अपनी requirement होंगी. आपकी requirement ये भी हो सकती है कि the thing has to be good in quality, but it has to be cost effective, it has to be budget friendly, it has to serve its purpose. जो मैं आपको बार बार कहती हूँ कि when you are on social media, you need to give people services which add value to their lives. वो value जो कि उनकी life को improve करे, ना कि आप वो services provide करने शुरू कर दें जो उनकी life में कोई value add नहीं करती. So if you are on social media, you have a responsibility, and that responsibility is you need to be professional, you need to be ethical, you need to provide what you stand for. If I'm on social media, if I'm taking these live sessions, my focus is कि भाई in every session there should be something which you take home, which you can apply into your life, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your professional life. So you're able to pick out chunks and apply it into your life, और वो आपको beneficial हो. Not that I keep on speaking and at the end of the session you say कि भाई our time was wasted, we didn't learn anything, we cannot take home anything. So you have to be responsible, you have to add value. Similarly जब आप जो है, जिस तरह मैं आपको कह रही हूँ कि अगर आप कोई पैकेजिंग की चीज़ देखते हैं या कोई आप प्रोडक्ट देखते हैं which is simple, so as a default बहुत से लोग हैं which go on the surface value and they do not see कि भाई ये जो प्रोडक्ट है, though it's simply presented, but it does not mean कि भाई it does not have value. maybe उस प्रोडक्ट की जो है उस प्रोडक्ट की निस्बत बहुत ज़्यादा वैल्यू हो जो कि मार्केटिंग में जिस पे जो है मे बी जो है बहुत ज़्यादा बजट लगा हुआ है, और अपीयरेंस उसकी जो है जिस तरीके से पोर्ट्रे की गई है, डिस्प्ले जिस तरह उसका किया हुआ है, सो इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी. बट देन देर आर पीपल हु जस्ट लुक एट दी सरफेस वैल्यू. आप देख रहे हैं कि द मोर brands are being introduced regarding clothing, so जिसकी जितनी अच्छी प्रेजेंटेशन है या जिसकी जितनी ज़्यादा मार्केटिंग है उसकी तरफ जो है लोग जा रहे हैं कि ओके भाई ये जो है ये फलाने का ब्रांड है और इसके तो जो है इस तरह मार्केट किया गया है और ये इस तरह लग रहा है, उसमें ये है, इसमें वो है. So rather than focusing yourself or just committing yourself towards things which are just wastage of money, so try to limit yourself to things जो आपको वैल्यू तो ऑफर करे ना. even if you're going for clothing, it does not have to be branded. You can just take anything which is costly, which is cost effective, which is budget friendly, which meets your budget and which is comfortable. Cause the more you're going to go for towards branding, it might not meet your आपके जो है comfort level को वो meet नहीं कर सकेगा. So this is another thing while you're choosing your products कि प्रोडक्ट चूजिंग में भी हम ये चीज़ें अक्सर करते हैं कि वी आर लुकिंग एट दी सरफेस वैल्यू, नॉट दी डीपर वैल्यू कि ये हमें क्या वैल्यू ऑफर कर सकता है. Then same is the case with experiencing new places. Now you might have heard about different places, बहुत common places भी होती हैं. Like when I was going to Skardu, I had a list जो कि जो है people ने भी जो है suggest किया, and I suggest myself as well कि भाई ये वाली जो है ना prominent places है, you can go to these places. But then when I went there, I wanted to meet the the communities over there, the villages over there. So for that I went into the villages. Though जो रास्ता था that was very जो है very difficult, very bumpy, but the real beauty and the real people and the real community which I wanted to explore, that was available over there. वैसे तो overall जो है Skardu, it's a beautiful area, and wherever you go you find people who are very simple, who are down to earth people, and they don't have these appearances. They don't have this aptitude of keeping up appearances, because I have seen them in their real state. They're not conscious how they are looking or how they are dressed up. They practically offer you everything जो भी उनके पास होता है, and they are true in the real sense. जो deep down to earth लोग होती हैं, they are those people. So if you want to explore the real life or the real nature or the reality of life, you need to go out of your comfort zone, and you need to meet such people who are not embarrassed of wherever they're living, or whatever their resources are, or no matter however whatever their customs and cultures are, they're very proud of it. So instead of अपने आप को जो है यहाँ मखा के जो है शो शाम में डालें, appearances में डालें, और ऐसी चीज़ों की तरफ जाएं जो कि जो है आपको कहीं पर भी लीड नहीं करेंगी, rather mislead करेंगी. So if you want to explore yourself, you need to explore the real life, and this is real life. So जो मैंने आपको अपने जो है लास्ट जो है सेशन में कहा था कि unless and until we are going to accept the reality of life, we don't accept the real life. Rather we are living in the artificial life. So we are focusing on things which are which are more unreal. So जब तक आप reality नहीं accept करेंगे, you won't be able to end your suffering. So this is like experiencing new places. When you experience new places, you come to know how people are, how down to earth they are, and how much you resonate with such people. If you yourself are such a person deep down, then obviously आपको ऐसे लोगों से मिलकर खुशी होती है. But then if you're not such a person deep down yourself, then you will be going for the covers, not the deep down meanings. Okay, so और न्यू प्लेसेस तो मैं कहती हूँ वैसे भी आपको एक्सपीरियंस करनी चाहिए. कॉज बहुत दफ़ा ऐसा होता है कि आप जो है यू आर फिक्सेटेड ऑन दिस सिंपल थिंग दैट आई विल मेक अ डिफरेंस, and then there are times कि you cannot make that difference for the simple reason कि there are people or organization or institutions or so many policies जो कि they don't let you pull through. So if you want to make a difference and you know कि your capabilities are recognizable and they are going to be acknowledged in a different place, so go and experience those new places. चाहे जो है आपको जो है चाहे आपको ऐसे जो है रिमोट इन्वायरमेंट में जाना पड़े जहाँ पर जो है आपको बेसिक कंफर्ट्स भी ना हो, but then it's worth it. And it's worth कि आपके जो experiences हैं they are going to be handed down to the rightful people जिनके पास वो resources नहीं है, वो means नहीं है, and you'll feel happy yourself कि I was able to deliver something to the rightful lot. Okay, so I have Aisha Sultan. Thank you so much for joining. Walaikum Assalam. And Okay, so I can see Manahil as well. Okay, and I can see someone at the top of my screen. So if you're still at the top of my screen, I'll take you live at the end of this session. अच्छा, हायरिंग डिसीजंस का तो मैं ऑलरेडी आपके साथ जिक्र कर चुकी हूँ. और देन अगेन जजिंग अ बुक बाय इट्स कवर, when you are meeting different people, you are able to understand the cultures as well. क्योंकि अगर if you're not meeting people, you're not getting out of your comfort zone, you will never know कि भाई different cultures exist करते हैं. But then जब different cultures exist करते हैं तो don't judge them क्योंकि everyone has their own culture. Like when I was visiting Skardu, I do know a bit about their culture and how they live and their overall environment. But then when I went there, like जो लिस्ट थी मेरे पास कि भैया I need to visit these places, then there were certain other places which when I was just going to different places, then उस टाइम पे जो है I discovered there were two mosques which were very very old, like वो 1300s में जो है बनी थी. And they were very old, or still उनका जो architecture है and the way it's constructed, it was beautiful. So I just made a brief reel, so probably I'll be uploading that reel. So I just have to write down something in the background for everyone to know what this mosque is about, or किस तरीके से जो है, like how people are preserving the mosque over there. And then there were certain other things. There were two mosques actually, not just one mosque. And then there's a day when they celebrate Eid as well. Like they do celebrate the two Eids we have, but then they have another Eid. And for that they go at the top of the mountains and they lit candles over there. And then the next day there's a national holiday in Skardu, and people they just dress up the way we dress up in Eid, and they go and celebrate that. It's I just forgot its name. It's Eid. It started with I don't know, I just it just skipped my mind. I just had the name in my mind, so I'll just confirm it, and then I'll write it down. Otherwise I might be saying something wrong or some wrong word, and that I do not want, cause that's against like that won't be adding value. It would be something wrong I would be delivering. Okay. Then hiring decision का भी मैंने आपके साथ जिक्र कर दिया है कि when you're hiring, when you are in the process or in the position of a decision making authority, so these are the things you need to keep in mind. You have to keep in mind the people, the persons you're hiring. You are looking at their portfolios, you're talking to them, and you have different stages of recruitment, and then you finally make your decision, not just in one interview. Like हमारे यहाँ पर I'm not going to quote anyone, but there are so many organizations, even government organizations maybe, like they have ads. And well, I have observed many organizations, the government organizations, yes, क्योंकि मैंने उधर खुद भी apply किया, and I knew how capable I was and how meritorious I was, but then at the end it's zipped. Okay. So won't go into those details. Then अगर जो है friendship की बात की जाए तो then again see, I think कि friendship, it's it's a long process. You cannot make friends in a jiffy. Every platform, it has its own way. Like on Facebook, when someone sends you a request, it's more of a friend request. Like it's not that you make them friends, it's just a requirement. Facebook has this, you have to add them. अब आपके पास और कोई provision है नहीं. But then there should be categories. जिस तरह LinkedIn पे है, LinkedIn पे people connect with you, they don't say add me as a friend or make me a friend. So on Facebook it's more of social type. So उसमें जो है people send you requests or people follow you, so you have two options: either you add them as friend or either you add them as followers. But then those people who keep on insisting on becoming a friend, now for those people, friendship, it's a long process, and you have your friends after quite some time. Like it's trial and error, and and it's a long process, so you can't say like I can't, when people say that you added me, I'm your friend, I can't, make you my friend for the simple reason that I don't know you. So unless and until, so whatever I'm preaching, अगर मैं आपको preach कर रही हूँ कि you need to know the person, or unless and until you know the person, you delve deep, you talk to the person, you don't know what kind of person that is. So you can't say कि भाई आपने add कर लिया है तो you have become my friend, because you can't make friend, you can't have everyone your friend, ऑब्वियसली, बिकॉज आपकी जो है नेचर डिफर करती है, आपका वर्क इन्वायरमेंट डिफर करता है, आपकी वैल्यूज़ डिफर करती हैं, आपका थिंकिंग पैटर्न डिफर करता है, बिकॉज यू माइट बी थिंकिंग इन अ डिफरेंट वे, आई माइट थिंक इन अ डिफरेंट वे, बट देन देर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स, सो यू कांट जस्ट इन अ डे और टू और इन अ वीक और सो you can say okay, now you are my friend. So these things take time, and those people, who keep on saying that we are your friends and you should make us your friend, so please try to understand this thing कि आप जो है, like I might be very social, I might be very cordial with everyone who comes across my social platform, but that does not mean कि I'll make everyone my friend. I'm here to guide everyone. That's what I place myself as a mentor, as a teacher, as a service provider, wherever I can add value to your life, or whatever solution I can provide as a business solution provider, or as a creative. So that's what I think my role is, and that's why I am using these social platforms. But if you try that I should personalize each and everything, so that's not possible. That's a very long process, so I don't have that mindset. So my apologies if everyone feels if anyone feels bad about this thing, but this is how I feel. So okay, so I was just discussing my topic, and I think this is all what I wanted to discuss today regarding this topic. And if anyone has any comment, or you want to come at the top of my screen, Muhammad Bilal, walaikum assalam. Okay, you can just let me know. And yes, and if anyone like, if you liked today's content and if you like this topic, then you can show me via your um, emojis, which I can see at the top of my screen right now. Okay, yes, I can see a few emojis coming my way. So but then again, if you people have any questions, you can always let me know about your questions, and I'll take your answers, whatever those are. And I can see someone at the top of my screen, so I'll just try to bring you online, whoever you are. So let me just check out. Okay. Okay, so when I'm bringing people, my voice is the background for us. Okay, so I think it was declined. It's okay. Maybe there's some kind of, I guess, but I cannot, Alam, this is Alam Wave Sawab. Thank you so much for joining. Well, I will about to end the session. So if you have any questions, let me know about the questions, and if you want to come at the top, if you want to come live, I think live. That is it. Take you live on that. So if and if there's no question from anyone, then I can just wind up this session. Then I'll see you. Inshallah, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll see you on Wednesday. So from now on, I'll have three sessions in a week. So that's Tuesday, then Wednesday, then I'll have three sessions in a week. And then obviously, if any one of you misses these sessions, you can always see uh, so if
those of you who have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, so you just feel like, in fact, you should feel like you should subscribe, and you should subscribe to the channel right here and there. So uh, that is fine. So on YouTube, you can always search me by so that's my YouTube channel. You can find it over there and you can go and see any of the videos that we have already made. So just playlist and go and watch the video, whatever you like. There is a personal category where you and then you like the you can whatever. Like, and then it's go on. So that would be all for today. And Inshallah is on Wednesday. Till then, bye bye. Have a nice